All right, so I'm sure you are already in the know of what's happened in the last 2 days having to do with the vetting and then the approval and the swearing in. One key man who has been at the center of a major controversy is Boakye Ejakun, the Minister of Energy. Now, he says that he will drag the Member of Parliament for Boko Central, Mahama Ayariga, to court if Mahama Ayariga fails to provide evidence that he, Boakye Ejakun, attempted to bribe members of the vetting committee. He spoke exclusively to TV3's presidential correspondent, Nana Kweku Idua.
I say without the fear of contradiction, I have not given a single soul a penny. Now, if anybody can cross their hearts and say that I have given them money, let them step forward. I say so that it is not true without the fear of contradiction. But I hope you heard what was said on the floor of Parliament. It is a fabrication because the allegation is that I said Mahama was corrupt. So they have to also smear me to say that I'm corrupt and I have no right to accuse Mahama of being corrupt. If that's how we want to do our equalization fair, then we understand the rules. And then we'll start throwing mud at each other. I'm not afraid of mud. But if that's how we want to live our national lives, so be it. I don't believe it's the right way. But if a member of parliament is going to say, because of this, I will fabricate something against another person, so be it. We live with it.
Are you going the legal way?
Well, the lawyers are listening to the tapes and they will advise.
All right, so that interview was yesterday, and today we've had different voices on this particular issue. It is getting murkier because the man in question, Hassan Ayariga, says he stands by his position that Boakye Ejakun bribed them, and the chief whip in parliament, the minority chief whip that is a member of parliament for Asawase, Mubarak Mutaka, has also spoken and said that he has no idea of the development that Hassan Ayariga is talking about. Let's look at what kind of picture this is painting on the international, in the eyes of the international community. We've been joined on the line by Dr. Rashid Draman. He is the Executive Director for the Africa Center for Parliamentary Affairs. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Right, to begin with, what do you make of the accusations and counter-accusations of this particular magnitude of bribery when we are looking at appointing people to man the ministerial positions of the country?
Well, Martin, I think that no matter how you look at it, this is not good for our democracy. It is not good for our parliament. It is not good for the image of our country.
And in the eyes of the international community, do you think this is something they would allow to slip by, or it carries enormous weight and is denting the democratic process that Ghana is being seen as progressing in?
No, I think definitely in the eyes of the international community, again, it's not bad. I mean, this is not good. But, leave the international community out of this and let's look at it. I think in terms of our own image, what we are trying to build as a country. When the elections happened in December, we were all very proud. We saw a very peaceful transfer of power, and we were all feeling very, very proud to be Ghanaians, to be seeing this very peaceful transfer of power from one party to another. Very recently, we had the Economist Intelligence Unit came up with a report that our democracy is flawed. We can get through elections and do all the mechanics and processes, but when it comes to issues of accountability, issues of institutions working and so on, I think our country is seriously, found wanting. And these are some of the things that contribute to these kinds of characterizations that we have about our country and our democracy.
But, Doc,
yes.
From where you stand, how do you think this issue can be addressed and not to dent the credibility, the already questionable credibility of Parliament?
Well, I think, honestly, from where I sit, I hope that the leadership of Parliament would take this very, very seriously, because it's just becoming too much. you know, we heard from Martin Amidu recently. You know, before then, I mean, there were all kinds of allegations and perceptions about members of parliament taking money and so on. We heard from Honorable Abambabin some time ago. I think all these things are contributing, as you rightly put it, to create a dent in the image of our parliament. And I think that this, I hope, the Right Honorable Speaker, the leadership of parliament will rise to the occasion. I mean, however you look at it, whether the allegations are true or not true, I think it's just simply very bad. And I hope they take this opportunity to clean up the image of parliament and cleanse parliament.
Right.
So that all of us would have the confidence in this institution that we can trust them to hold the government to account, and we can trust them to live and lead by the honorable kind of title that we give them.
This particular issue, a lot of people are praying it goes beyond just rhetoric, so they would not just talk about it and let it slip under the carpet, but it must be dealt with decisively. Would you be of the school of thought that Mr. Hassan Ayariga and Boakye Jakon and anybody whose name has been mentioned, Mama Ayariga, I beg your pardon, be dragged to the Privileges Committee of Parliament and state their position clearly so we get to the bottom of this?
Yeah, honestly, I think even beyond the Privileges Committee, because you see, what I'm hearing, I mean, in the media and so on, the commentary that you hear in social media, people are saying, you know, I mean, how can we trust these internal processes? I mean, i.e. the Privileges Committee to deal with this decisively, because there have been instances when, I mean, these kinds of allegations have come up and we never heard anything. So I think beyond the Privileges Committee, if there are any other mechanics, any other mechanisms through which this can be dealt with, if it is indeed true that the minister bribed Parliament, then I think he has no business becoming a minister. If it is not true, and this is a lie coming from an honorable member of Parliament, again, I think he has no business becoming an honorable member of Parliament.
Right.
And I think this is in the bosom of the leadership now. I mean, this is an opportunity that they might rise to, I mean, in order to clean and cleanse the image of Parliament. If they miss this opportunity, I can tell you the image of Parliament is going to continue to sink. Not only, I mean, of course, in the eyes of the international community, but, I mean, in the eyes of Ghanaians, which is, I mean, the most important, if you ask me.
Okay. We are grateful for your time, Dr. Rashid Draman, for making time to speak with us. He is the Executive Director for the Africa Center for Parliamentary Affairs. I was actually referring to Mahama Ayariga, not Hassan Ayariga of the APC. Mahama Ayariga, Member of Parliament for Boko Central, and the very shocking allegations he leveled against Boakye Jakon. Both of them seem to be standing by their position. Mahama Ayariga says that Boakye Jakon bribed them, the minority side of Parliament, and then also Mr. Boakye Jakon saying that that is an untruth and is dragging the Member of Parliament to court. It is still an unfolding story. Trust TV3 to keep a keen eye on it, and then we'll bring you details in our subsequent bulletins. We'll be back shortly with more on News at 10. Stay with us.